All right, bang, bang. Today is Thursday. It's March 3rd. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. We're kicking it. It's a free swim. You guys were the original free swim guys. It's myself, Dana's here, Spider's here, and Quigs. Do you guys? I think all three of you were on it with Daniela, right?
Quigs wasn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Me and Spider were.
That's right. Quigs was on like in the same period. That might have been the same week.
I had my own episode.
Either way, pumped to be back. Thanks so much for having us, Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
Oh, it's good to have you guys. So we're just like, hey, let's just shoot the shit. I don't know why we don't do this more. I do it with the Chicago guys a lot, but it's good to get a good mix. So I'm happy to have you guys. And really, all I said was like, hey, just come with something. Maybe it's a grievance. Maybe it's something you want to get off your chest. So I think Spider, I like yours to get us out of the gate here.
All right, yeah, I'll start. Was there one specific? I know I floated a couple ideas at you. Was there one that resonated mostly?
Yeah, I like the.
There's two in prior.
Yeah, me and Eddie had a pre-production meeting. We'll call it.
Yeah.
Really?
You had one
Let's
about.
hear it.
You had one about the
Emergency
ambulance.
services?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So listen, living in New York, I grew up in Connecticut, kind of like farmland. One thing I noticed is people always had common courtesy when there's a fucking emergency service car behind you, ambulance, police car, whatever the fuck. You pull over, you get out of the way. That courtesy does not exist in New York. I don't know if that's the same way in Chicago. I mean, we go there, film pizza reviews, there's cars being stolen. So I wouldn't assume that they're following that same courtesy, but it drives me crazy walking home, and then you'll just see, you're on 23rd Street and there's a fucking ambulance trying to get through, full sirens, full volume, and people just cannot be bothered to pull over.
But there's a lot of times they have like nowhere to go.
I mean, I agree, but at the same time, like the second the fucking ambulance operator is changing the siren tone, that means like get the fuck out of the way. You know how there's like four tones?
I'm not.
It sounds like you guys want people to die in the back of those ambulances.
I'm saying the streets are very narrow. So that can be it's tough sometimes.
I disagree 1,000,000%. I think the streets are tremendously more wide than in places where this courtesy exists.
I'm on your side. You go by the law. You do what you have to do. But I think it's a little tougher in New York City where if the streets are too narrow, maybe you end up in the avenue and you're starting this whole commotion. I don't know.
I am very scared to like ever need an ambulance.
Yeah,
because they'll
too.
be stuck here on one street for like 3 minutes.
You'd be
I
fucked.
don't understand how they like get to where they need to be in time.
Is there a stat how many people have died because of not being able to move because it's so fucking gridlocked there? There has to be a stat,
That
right?
is a good question. I have not done that much
Government
research.
probably hides it.
Yeah,
It blows my mind how not more people are hit by cars in New York City.
it is crazy. Have you guys
Or
ever been
accidents. Either.
How about like even a biker? The bike lane's a dangerous spot.
No
to
one
be.
ever gets hit though.
I got hit by you know how they have those square backpacks? Not quite the
Yeah.
biker himself, but his backpack straight to the fucking dome.
How did that happen?
I was walking actually to Chuck Naso's apartment, and right here on across 8th Ave, and respect the game. I think a delivery biker's out here just trying to get his money, and he was really on his fucking horse. And I don't know if he didn't see me step out in the bike lane or something, but by the time we made contact, his fucking like 2x2 backpack was directly in my face. My body armor went up in the air, everything.
There is a funny story about like the ambulance and stuff. So I'm from like a little town in North Carolina. It's kind of like a nice little like southern thing. And there's this girl in my high school, I remember, and she wasn't the brightest of the bunch, and she thought that people pulling over to the side of the road for the ambulances was like a cute little thing people did in our town to like show respect.
Like it was a sign of the cross.
Yeah, like she thought it was like a little quaint thing.
Like
our
instead
town
of
did.
putting up a prayer, she would just pull over and like.
Like just had no idea that like people do that all.
Any of
over
you guys
the
ever
United
been in an
States.
ambulance?
That's some sheltered shit.
Honestly, no.
Me neither.
One time, I got hit by a car. That was it.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why didn't you mention that when Dana asked if we got hit by cars, Eddie? Fuck.
Did you? Well, he didn't like say has anyone got hit by a car. Did you say that?
You got hit by
I've
a
been hit
car?
by a
Yeah,
car.
what, can we hear this story?
Yeah. Well, time out though. To answer your thing too, Spider. I think I would almost rather be hit by a car than a bike in New York.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
because cars, you're not going that fast most of the time. Like, I feel like you
yes
would take
and no,
less
but the
damage.
thing is, I hear what you're saying. I feel like that's a fair point. The motherfuckers that you're gonna get hit by in New York are like the asshole cab drivers who are like, "Oh, this shit's turning yellow. Let me gun it," and then like I don't know, or people like hitting a left turn unknowingly into the walking like crosswalk.
Yeah, but those
you don't
bikes
see.
fly though. You got to brake to the eye. That's not gonna
Yeah,
be good.
that's
a good
true.
point. Yeah,
That's true.
Depends on the speed of the car.
That's not gonna be good.
But nobody wants to get hit by a car though, Ed.
no,
I mean, you can like roll with the car.
Right.
Like you can. It's like a flat, like solid. Like the bikes, it's just got
What if it's
things
going
sticking
40?
out.
What if it's going 40?
Yeah, like a
Roll with
a
it.
car, you could probably brace yourself, just kind of like roll
All
up
right.
onto the hood.
Can we hear that you're hit by a car?
so it's
story?
like the most half-ass hit by a car story you'll ever hear. So it's I don't even know if I really get to claim this anymore. The more that I think about it in my life, but so I was crossing the street. I was on my bike. I was coming from like a block party or some shit, and there was the light turned yellow as I was midway, and there was 2 more lanes I had to cross, and there was a huge fucking conversion van in the first lane, and then of course there was a smaller car in the other lane. So the conversion van let me go, and the light had changed, and then as soon as I got to that last lane, a little it was like a Geo Metro. Remember those fucking things? It was a little fucker. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't a beast.
was
of
it going 10? Was it going 10 miles an hour?
It was like just taking off. You know?
Oh, shit.
It was just taking off.
So this car was parking in the compact car spot. in
Yes,
the parking
correct.
lot
And it
garage.
was like, so if there's 2 lanes, and so this is the van, like I couldn't see it though because it was very small. And then as soon
Right.
as I crossed him, he took off, and then he technically like got my leg a little bit, but he really got the back of my like spoke, and he just smoked my bike really, you know. And it was just enough to like where I fell off, but like I got up and I just rolled the bike and I just like laid in the grass. I was like it's more like you're stunned, you know what I mean?
And you have to get an ambulance
Well,
after that.
they didn't take me away, but they pulled up like somewhat because like
How old were you?
neighbors came out. I was in, God, I had to be in like 7th grade, something like that. And
So-
you
Oh,
were a
all right,
kid.
Yeah, I was a
would-
kid.
I would have played that shit up.
yeah. So like neighbors came out, like they were calling, you know, and then like the ambulance pulled up. They're like, yo, and they like put me in, but I didn't drive off. I was fine. You know, there was just like
Damn.
a check.
Was the guy like apologetic? Did he just peel out?
He
What
didn't
happened
even
to him?
ask me, bro. He didn't even come up to me. He pulled
But
over.
he sticked around.
He stuck around,
stuck
yeah,
around?
but he did
All
not
right.
come up
I mean,
to me.
that's
and be
like half and half.
I
is fun.
got hit and run like 2 years ago, maybe at this point. It was in Hoboken. They had the little Lime scooters, and some girl. I was just riding it one. I think it was a Saturday. I was going into the office for college football, and she just turned right in front of me. I slammed into the side of her car, and I'm just like laying on the ground. She like stares at me. She's like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like on the ground, like just got hit by a car, and I'm like, "I think so." And then she just
Peeled
floors
out.
it and leaves. Which, in fairness, like I kind of prefer that.
Didn't Carl get
As
hit by
opposed to
a
like,
car?
what are we gonna
No,
do? Sit-
Liam got
sit
it
and
the
talk
worst.
that?
A lot
Yeah,
of people
Liam
have
got
been
fucked
hit by
up.
cars in this
What
office.
happened to
Yeah,
Liam?
Eddie, I think you got to walk back your take, my guy. We'll take the bikes all day.
Yeah.
No, I'll take.
I don't know though, bro. Those things fly. Like,
They do fly.
They really
They
do
do
fly.
fly.
And like you're not even saying if that guy's bringing like Papa John's, you got pizza on your face and shit. You know?
Yeah, or if he's got a heavy catered order, that's a lot of fucking downforce coming straight to you.
Yeah, dude. You don't want fucking fettuccine Alfredo all in your ear and shit, dude. That would be no good. That'd be no
That's a good
good.
point.
Wait, who did you say? Liam and who else?
Carl got hit by
Oh
a
yeah,
car, right?
so did White Sox Dave. Almost hit Dave Wanstead with his car. Do you know who that is?
No.
Yeah, the isn't he
coach.
a coach or something?
Yeah, he's the old
football
Bears,
coach?
Dolphins, and Pitt coach. He was like texting in front of like the big. He was texting and driving. Don't do that. We don't
Classic.
condone that. And Dave doesn't condone it either. But he was texting and driving by like the Big Ten Network, and like he was coming up on some guy, and some guy like he was going slow enough, or he was like crawling, and the guy put hey, he like put his hand on his hood, and White Sox Dave's like, oh sorry. Then he looks over, he's like, oh. I think that's Dave Wanstead. He's like, 1A. And he's like, hey. And he just like,
That would have been
That's
that would have been the
incredible.
most White Sox Dave thing ever.
Right? That's how White Sox Dave meets people. Almost took him out with my car. Now we're good friends.
How's my boy Dave doing? What's he doing right now?
he's actually kind of he's been kind of stressed out because he was closing on a condo, but I think he just closed. He moved in Monday. How about this? He committed to coming to work on moving day, and I told him I was like you guys, moving day is like that's like the most acceptable day ever to be like, hey, sorry, I can't do it. You know?
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Does he like have to be in? Like, do you have stuff you're
You
doing?
hear the ambulances, boys?
I wonder if they're moving.
Yeah,
Hear 'em?
you wonder. We're gonna hear him for fucking 10 minutes because they're not gonna be able to move.
true.
No, because we
Like,
were
is there
gonna,
something important? Or?
no, because we were gonna, the sports book online registrations go legal again on Monday,
Yeah.
so we were gonna shoot a video for it, and but like it's not. We have a week to do it, And he's like, "Oh no, don't worry." I'm like, and I was like, "Dude, moving sucks. Like, I know you're gonna sit there, and there's way more shit to throw in the box than you think." He's like, "No, I'll be there, and he never came. And it's like, why didn't you? I understand. Just it's moving day. It's the worst. So
Yeah.
no, that's the story. Dana, or Quigs, you said you had one, right? You had something.
Yeah.
else?
Well, I don't even know if it's a grievance. I guess sort of. So, this like happens every once in a while. Like whenever I like have to sleep and there's new people around. So I went on a bachelor party.
Oh yeah, that's
and
right.
So like
New Orleans?
we're like New Orleans,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're like sharing bedrooms, and I guess I have sleep apnea.
Which is what exactly?
Like I don't even really know. I don't
Like
like
sleepwalking?
I've
or
never
like,
looked into it because like I don't want to like face the fact.
It's
But-
it's basically when you your oxygen like cuts off, like you stop breathing when you sleep.
I think it has something to do with like your tongue like
Like the
covers
nasal
up your
patch.
air.
And you
holes
make all
or
those
some
weird
shit.
noises and shit.
Yeah, you're kind of like a little bit of snoring, a little bit of like gasping.
It sounds
for
like
air.
you're dying in a way.
So every time I sleep, like have to like sleep with somebody new, it's like the next morning, it's like, hey, I think you have sleep apnea, and I just never know what to do because it seems like the only solution is get one of those like machines.
Yeah.
Or
And
the mouth guards,
I don't
right?
want to like have a machine.
You're not a machine
and
on
it
the face
doesn't.
guy.
I mean, maybe internally and like long term it affects me. Doesn't affect me all. Like I go to bed, I wake up the next morning, like great sleep.
So
no
you don't feel
problems,
like
but-
you don't feel like shit when you wake up?
No, and I'm not like waking up in the middle of the night being like, oh my god, I need like air.
Yeah.
Like I have trouble falling asleep. Once I am asleep, like I'm
Ed,
out.
did you know Quigs loves to kiss titties?
No. What,
Him and Mitch.
did you do that?
Imagine having a kid. Remember that story about the kissing titties and you fell
yeah.
asleep on her tits? What if you had
Nothing to do with this.
What if you fell asleep and you had to put your mask on her titties?
Yeah, I mean, like the mask. That's like such a commitment. I mean, I think it's like a fat thing. I think if I lost like 50 pounds, it would go away.
I think it's
You
even
ever-
like even like bodybuilders. I think it's like a neck like strength. I don't know. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's not only that. It's like
and that's
other
it's just a
factors.
pain in the ass because I don't know. Like I used to be able like just to sleep on planes like crazy, like just get on the plane, wake up when it lands, and now I get like real self-conscious that if I fall asleep, I'm snoring, and I don't know if I snore sitting up, and I just think I do, and I just can't.
Damn.
So you don't catch
So
yourself.
you have
what
grievance. You have a grievance with the people that bring.
Yeah,
it up
what
to
is
you?
the grievance
Sort of.
exactly?
It just gets like it's like,
It's like, yeah, I know,
what do you
dude.
want
I have
me
it.
to do
Yeah,
about it?
yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's annoying.
And then I don't know like if it like is bad for you, like
Yeah, it's pretty bad. for
So
you.
like what happens? What does it?
Well,
make
I
you
mean,
do?
if it's truly a lack of oxygen, that sounds like it's fucking
Yeah.
terrible.
yeah, it's what you should look up. What was it? Reggie White. I think that's how he died.
don't look that up.
Yeah.
Don't
You
look
die
that
from
up.
this?
Don't
Yeah.
tell him to look that up.
Go on WebMD.
I didn't know you could die from
Oh,
this.
God,
Wait, just like
Eddie.
died in his sleep?
Yeah,
Never woke up.
And like he's like he might have a charity for it now too.
Oh God.
Just
Why
get
would
one of
you-
those funny mouth guards. I see them on late night TV all the time. It just opens up your like.
Yeah, that could
breathing a
help.
little
Try
bit.
that, Quigs.
And then we can even have a sleepover, and I'll be the guinea
Yeah,
pig.
but it's like it doesn't bother me. Like it's like I don't have sleep apnea unless there's like somebody in the room.
You
Unless
could be
got
the
a plus
spokesman
one.
for sleep apnea at Barstool.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
yeah. But yeah, that's always annoying.
So
It's like,
people
what do I say?
that bring it up to you that are new.
It's it's like what do
Yeah,
you want
that's
me to do?
annoying as
Like you
hell.
want me to get a machine?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have it too. Like I snore, like, but it's like, it's,
Like that's the thing. It's like I'll get like the next morning, wake up, get like two people, be like, "Yo, I think you have sleep apnea."
That
You
is
know how much
annoying.
more shit I'd get if I'm bringing a
I've-
big machine to a bachelor party.
I have
and, like,
more of a grievance
hooking it up.
with people who complain about that shit on bachelor parties. Like, dude, you know what you're getting. It's not going to be great.
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, that's. But yeah, the bachelor party overall was very fun. It was.
you like
That must be annoying as hell, though. Like, it's not even something you can address in real time. You just wake up and you're like, halfway unconscious, and then all your friends are like, "Oh, you're like the most annoying snorer I've ever heard."
Yeah.
How many days was your bachelor party?
It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, leave Sunday. But
All right.
I went on
I
Wednesday.
kind of have a
day
grievance like similar to that, where I went on one which was awesome, it was so much fun, but after on day 3 and you wake up and you still have to drink and stuff, it's so hard. And then day 4 you're still going. I don't have a grievance per se. I'm saying it's tough.
It
The
is
4-day
hard.
bachelor parties are tough.
Even for like a seasoned vet like you.
Yes. After I can't really do 3 in a row. On day 3 I'm hurting. I need to like sleep in, and then it's like just constantly going. It can kind of tear you down a little bit. I mean, it's not the worst thing. It's fun,
Nah, it is, but like
but it just ruins your body.
it was good for me because it was like mine like lined up perfectly. It was like end of football season. Like I needed, like I was working my ass off all football season. Needed
Deserved
a break,
it. You
and
deserved
then
it.
it was perfect because we had the Monday off, so I had like a day to fully recover, which I very much needed.
Yeah.
Well, you're kind of getting up there, right, Dana? How old are you now?
I'm 29 years old. I'm up there already.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
up there.
Like, dude, it's hard. Like that's why, like,
It is. Yeah. How old are you?
27.
Oh, I thought you were like 24.
going
27.
toe to toe with Glenny is like, it's tough.
Yeah. It is.
It's tough.
Because he doesn't get hangovers. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
crazy.
I feel like Balls is gonna hit a wall.
He's
soon.
gonna.
Like,
It's gonna hit him hard.
Father Time's gonna catch up with Balls at
Yes.
some point.
That's gonna be
But there
like a momentous day. Like we're all like gonna have to go out to dinner with them and like comfort
I was gonna
him.
say we're gonna have to have his back.
Yeah.
But there are people out there that can somehow just go through life and not be affected by like the amount they drink.
Yeah.
And like I don't know how they do it. For me, I get really bad hangovers. Balls just seems like he can have 15 high noons and just be fine. Like I don't get it.
Yeah, it is
It is.
crazy.
For me, it's like I've realized it's the sleep aspect of it, not the drinking. It's the fact that like you're going to bed at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
what
like,
messes you up.
In college, you can like sleep in till like 3 p.m. and
Right.
be fine.
That's
Here,
true.
like you always have to be up for something.
Yeah, having something to do is definitely puts a damper on that. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Real quick here, I want to talk about Roman guys. Dana, you're the king of the blowjobs. They call you. Is that right?
Former king of the blowjobs.
Former.
You know, I slap one of those Romans on my wiener every now and then, and it helps me last longer. I am wifed up now, Eddie, so it helps me in the sack,
There you
and I
go.
love it. So shout out to Roman, and it's discreet. You know, I just pop it on there, and feeling good, lasting long. I love Roman swipes.
Look at this fucking guy, Spider. How about Spider? You guys, Spider Quigs? You guys using the swipes?
I brought one to New Orleans.
Oh, there
Sounds
you
like
go.
Dana's using them a hell of a
Lost
lot
it,
more
though.
than me. I'll say that, despite the wifey and everything.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Well, king of the blowjobs. Would you ever put one on before a BJ or no?
No, I feel like that's disrespectful.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's kind of
Get-
like
get her
it's like
mouth
made
on
of like
one.
alcohol, isn't it?
No, it doesn't transfer to your partner.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Would
I never
probably-
did it, but I will.
Yeah.
Probably transfer to like the mouth.
No, I
That's
don't
what I
know.
meant.
It's a good.
I don't.
Well, regardless, though, you're trying to. I mean, that would.
We'll try it out.
I mean, I think the goal on that is to like get things done sooner. But when you're actually having
Exactly.
sex, you're supposed to be longer. So maybe just
Yes.
use it for that. Like Dana said, Roman can ship to you in discreet, unmarked packaging. A neat swipe packet is small enough to hide in your wallet for whenever you need it. Super easy to use. Just take the swipe out of the packet, swipe it on, let it dry. You're good to go. That's it. It's a clinically proven way to last longer in bed. So you hear clinically proven. That's all you need. So go to GetRoman.com/dogwalk to get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. That's GetRoman.com/dogwalk. Okay.
It is funny to think about the clinically proven part.
When I hear that, I'm
well, that
sold.
means that they are like had actual tests where
Yes.
they're like
Put this on
seeing
and then
how
fuck.
like
They're watching just people fuck.
they're like
This
a
is
lab like
longer.
doing some sort of putting it on somebody and comparing it to
Yeah.
how long
Imagine
they
having
can
that
last
job.
without.
Just
Like, hey,
seeing how-
rub this on your dick and then fuck for us.
You should get him on the show.
Yeah, that would be a great guest.
I'm open to anything.
It's probably like Stu Feiner with an NDA.
It's too finer. Dana, but did you have something here for us?
I got a grievance.
Yeah.
It's kind of related to Barstool. Just meetings, Eddie. I can't do just all the fucking meetings, man. Especially in production. Why are we sitting through meetings all day? It's taken away from production, like actual production during my day. just text me if you need something.
I completely.
Quigs and I are kind of cut from the same cloth where we're just like, let me do my thing. I don't need to waste time talking about doing something. I'm going to do it. I understand that meetings are necessary to get like points across for, important sales or anything like that. Like, I get that. I get that things need to be said. But do it once a week. Don't make me sit through 5 meetings a day fucking talking about planning something in November. I'm planning something for tomorrow, Eddie. I'm not worried about fucking, talking about shit. I'm worried about doing shit. So it's the meetings, especially within production. And I've said this very publicly to everybody. It's like, I think if you are just sitting in meetings all day, like, what are you actually doing? Do you have a real job? Or are you just trying to act important? The fucking meetings, Eddie. I don't know if you deal with this because you're more on content, obviously. But for production, it's like, come on. Let's get shit done instead of talking about getting shit done.
No, I completely agree. That was number 2 on my grief.
Really?
Dana needed to get that off.
Yeah.
Who you guys meeting with? I barely
It's just
have
any
meetings.
I don't know, because like we'll have meetings, like we have like a social meeting, and it's like we go over a few updates of like things that are changing on platforms, and then we go through basically everybody's like what they're doing, what changes, like things people should know. And I get in that meeting and I get like nervous about like saying what I'm up to. Like I don't do anything, and it's like I'm like here till like 8 o'clock some nights, like work. I'm always working. I go home, I do shit, but like it's just weird, and it like takes away. It's like my least productive time. I'd rather be at my computer working.
I get that Barstool is more corporate now as we grow. I understand that, and that's natural. I do also have an aspect of like nostalgia of like the old office and like kind of a smaller company where it was just like you kind of just did your own thing and you didn't really worry about having to like answer to all these people. Like that lives with me a lot. Like I miss those days. I know it's not the same now, and it's great that we're growing, but I'm just kind of old school in that sense where it's like sit down, put your headphones on, do your job. And now we're just so much bigger that that's not the case, which I get. But it's just, it's one of my grievances.
No, I understand. You say that. I actually had 2 production meetings this week, so maybe the meetings are upticking a little bit.
They absolutely are.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think people recognize that. And again, that's who we are now. We're more corporate, but I'm just old school.
Yeah. I mean, I think it has to do with there's people here whose roles are like just have meetings.
Yeah.
So it's like in order
for
for them to do their job, they have to set up meetings.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
as
like
Dana said, are they just acting important for like the wrong reasons?
No, I
or
mean
is
they
it
are
actually worthwhile?
important and shit.
I'm sure people all have things to do, and I'm telling you, meetings are important for certain people, and they are, and I get that. But for me,
Production time.
Let me do my thing.
Let me give you a spin-off for that. And in the same vein, and I don't hope this doesn't piss people off, but whatever. You know what drives me fucking nuts? Every year, around the same time, New Year, January, February, we'll get our producer, who is now Tom Lay. He'll come up and be like, "Hey, I've been meeting and talking with people. Sales, they want to know like what's like a pitch? Like, can you summarize dog walk in a couple sentences?" I'm like, this is year 4. Like, I don't know what to say anymore. Like, it's been around for 4 fucking years. What do you like? Like, there's over 800 episodes. Like, at this point, like, how do we not know what's going on? And I understand they're not consuming all the content. Like, their job is to be on phones.
But
but it's
they should consume all the content. Like, I think if you're a salesperson and you have like certain brands, you should like consume every ounce of that, and then by doing that, you can find products, things that like the people on the show like, and it makes it so much easier to like integrate the ads, stuff like that. Like with Dave, like when he had the big freakouts of like things being advertised on his show that he just doesn't like.
Yeah.
Like you should know everything that
totally
the people on your shows like.
But like we do it every
should be
year.
part of the job.
We do it. It's like, oh, like here's this brand we'd like to work with. Here's this, and then it's like, I don't know. It's so I do have a great. Do you guys probably get that shit too, right? Like it's like, oh, Quigs. Like, how many times have you had to explain your job? Or like Spider, it's like, oh, what exactly do you do? It's like, well,
yeah,
I don't know. Like,
I think it just kind of goes back to like it's similar to what Dave says with like kind of just going back to basics. Like I think we just overcomplicate things a lot, and it's better to just simplify it and focus on like what's in front of you. Whereas I don't need to sit in 4 meetings talking about the same thing. Like, I think we just kind of overcomplicate stuff a lot, and it is good to know that we are trying to go back to basics, because like that's what I love about Barstool, is just like that kind of old school feeling of just like pull out your phone, whip out your phone, and make something funny.
Yeah,
like
it is
that,
good.
That's what I like.
There is, but with a lot of that too, a lot of cool shit has come. Like the,
Right.
you know, like the reality shows this summer are really cool. I thought,
sure.
You know,
Yeah.
so like,
And that does take a lot of planning and a lot of meetings. So I understand that.
Yeah.
And shout out to all the people that do have to do that, because it obviously ends up amazing. It's just for me and what I do, the way I operate, I'm just like,
I also
let me
feel
do my
like
thing.
like you're referring more towards like specific generic production meetings, where something like the reality show would be a lot more like specific
Right.
planning and production. But I do agree, like I feel like Dave himself has even said at points like less is more in terms of like me getting in your ear or like coaching you or giving you feedback. Like if he doesn't tell you shit, I feel like that means you're doing relatively like well, or like he doesn't have any concerns. But I feel like that kind of follows suit for the production side of things. Like the more meetings we have, it's just taking away from your actual editing time of like reoccurring videos you work on,
Right.
as well as like just moving further away from just figuring it out on your own.
Well, you're like a fucking manager or something, aren't you, Dana?
I was, and I didn't really enjoy it. So I told him I didn't really want to do that, because I know myself, and I'm like, as you know, there's 2 sides of me. There's the Dana Beers, and then there's the actual production. But just as a human being, I'm not great at managing people, and I'm not good at being like, oh, here's what you did this year, and here's like I'm just not good at that. So I told him I kind of wanted to move away from that.
Yeah.
But it was a learning experience.
That's big of you.
I do feel bad for the guys that were under me, because like, I mean, I know what I'm good at, and that's like understanding Barstool and what's good. Having like an eye for content. I'm not good at telling you like how to manage you and shit
And
like
it's almost
that.
impossible for you to do when you're spending 5-6 months in Jackson,
Yeah,
Mississippi.
10 months, but yeah.
10. Yeah.
Who were you managing?
I had Arya, Josh Tulajan, who's like, he's a beast. Like, I think he does.
Yeah,
he's
he's-
like a big time manager.
he should be
now.
managing,
Arya's
yeah.
also a beast. Is Arya still?
Yeah, he's back today.
I haven't seen him in a while.
He was back today for like the first time, I think.
And I think Lasovsky and Rudy.
Ah.
So I mean, I had a good relationship with him. I'm just not good at like professionally.
Could
sitting
you
down
imagine
and
this
having-
guy pulling you into one of those little rooms?
Exactly.
And being
I
like,
love that Dana just took it upon himself to be like, this is not me, though, because I'll tell you what, one of my other grievances in this office is I feel like we have a lot of like LinkedIn career ascenders in this place that will just pimp whatever sort of fucking 1 ounce responsibility they have for any semblance of credit online. Whereas we have people out here begging to be managers. Oh, I want all this power. I want a roster of 8 people to manage, like Dana just outlined that he used to have. And then he, on the other hand, is just like, fuck this. Let
Yeah, I
someone
don't
else
wanna
do
do
it.
it.
I just want to edit videos and be on my own.
Yeah,
with my
and that's
headphones on.
okay. That's okay.
I love that. That's better.
okay.
That's better than like insincere.
Yeah, it's like it felt like I was pretending to be like someone I wasn't, and it was good to try. I was just like, this isn't me.
Now, will you
And-
regret that at some point in your life when you're like maybe a couple years older, and now that you got a serious girlfriend, and not like
What does a serious girlfriend got to do?
Well,
with
it seems like you're growing up a little bit.
I am growing up, but no.
Also, you could still, like, in 3 years, could, like, be a manager.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think for my personal career aspirations, I want to like keep doing what I'm doing in the documentary space, but that doesn't. I have no aspirations to like manage 10 people. I don't. That doesn't bring me enjoyment. It doesn't bring me like. I don't know. It's just not.
No, I know, it, like, I've got the same thing where it's like, I could manage people and, like, be decent at it.
Yeah.
But, like,
Or I could
there's
focus
no
on
point
what
in
I'm good at.
being, like, whatever. I can be an average manager, but, like, hands-on, like, doing stuff, editing videos, shit like that, I'm, like, good at. And, like, it seems like it makes more sense to
Right.
spend my time doing that.
Yeah. No, I got you. Is Dion a meeting guy?
Oh God, no.
No.
I've never sat in a meeting with him. Like that's the thing. Call me, text me, tell me what you need.
Yeah.
He texts me every time he needs a post or whatever. Just hit me up.
I thought of
I'll
another
answer the
grievance.
phone. What'd you say?
I thought of another grievance.
Let's hear it.
My biggest fucking pet peeve is when someone will text me and just say, yo.
Oh,
or, hey.
dude, but
Fucking cut to the chase.
I'm one of those guys.
I got
I'm
100
one of
texts
those guys.
unread in my phone. I'm not saying hey back. Tell me what you fucking need.
I'm one of those
see,
guys.
I did.
Especially when it's at off hours. I've been getting a lot of them recently between like 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's criminal as far as I'm concerned.
See, I had not known that at all, though. Now that I understand your point, Spider. Because like the big thing is like especially on the road, like for instance, we were in Detroit for 3 weeks, and we're stranded at a hotel, and it's like, oh, I'm out of toothpaste. Like, Spiders has the car, and he's always out and about getting stuff or whoever. So usually, but like I always want to be like, hey, but if it's not too much trouble, you know what I mean? Like, hey,
yeah.
So it's always like,
I guess
hey.
maybe I'm too much of an asshole in my response to that, but I get triggered.
I'm just looking up what last thing I texted Eddie, February 8th. Yo, Ed.
Yo,
he
no.
goes, yo. I said, quick question.
No, that's way too
Yeah,
much.
you gotta
for me.
just instantly go
Cut
with the
to
quick
it.
question.
Get into it.
And then I sent him a long ass
I was gonna say
question.
that looked like something bigger
See-
than a
see,
But that was
quick
like,
question.
I don't
it
mind
shouldn't
it.
take me two
Speaking
texts.
at 12:26, 1 minute ago. Yo, I'm not gonna say from the employee who, but it never ends. It never fucking.
I don't
ends.
mind it, but if I'm in Spider's shoes, I get it because like
Yeah.
the shit that
Like,
he has to do is like you're just like, oh fuck. Like if I'm in for something, I want to know. Like
I
tell
like
me.
to ease into the
I just
conversation
hate
a little bit.
text. Like I hate texting in general.
Are you a
I like
phone
group
call
chats.
guy?
I hate like one-on-one texting.
Are you a phone call guy?
Nah, I don't
No.
like communicating with people. Like at all.
I understand, man.
Like I like talking in person. I don't like FaceTime. Like I refuse.
Oh, FaceTime is awful. If you're a FaceTimer, like especially people who frequently use it, it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
I like to fuck around and like sometimes I'll fuck around. Like when like it's funny when Marty and Glennie does those big groups. Like that's funny.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
Like,
bro,
That's funny. What happened?
I
What?
guess the
Spider just threw his phone.
Oh,
I'm not
no.
dealing with it, Eddie.
Who did?
I'm not dealing with it.
What did someone say?
I just I triggered it. I opened the floodgates. I said it, and then I got fucking 2 in a row. I'm not dealing with it.
Tell me who it was.
I will not.
Why?
what does it start with?
Just out of respect, they're gonna think it's a personal level of slander. When
No, it's
really
not,
just a
though.
recurring pain in my life.
Marty?
No.
Marty's
Is it
a big
potentially
yo
somebody
guy.
like trolling
It
you?
was someone on the sportsbook social team. We'll say that.
Oh,
We'll leave it
okay.
at that.
You're not though,
McCarthy.
because we're good friends. And you've told me like, hey, don't do that, and I'm like, oh, I actually understand. You know?
I'm just like cut to the chase type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So now
see
it's
if
like,
they were
hey,
good,
Spider,
too.
if you're out and you're, doing stuff for Dave, would you mind grabbing?
I
this
would
as
love
well?
that.
Like that's the message that needs to be.
I'm looking through our
Yes.
text right now. Yo, you at the office. Is that bad?
That's way better. That's way better because then I know like
It's not the yo. It's the like yo by itself.
All right.
Basically, where you have to do a
That's not bad, I
conversation.
guess.
before
Right,
you get to the
right.
question.
Yeah.
like if you're gonna ask me a solid, just fucking lay it on me. Is where I'm at.
Yeah. No, I got you. Hey, how was
I guess-
Fallon?
It was awesome. I went backstage and like I kept messing with him a little bit, and I was like, "You won't say my name," and like we were joking about it
Oh, with
Dion or
Dion?
Jimmy?
to Dion.
Yeah, for
Dion.
people that
So,
don't
like,
know, Dion was on Jimmy Fallon's show this past Friday,
yeah.
and
That was- yeah, Friday.
you went with. So tell me how it was again.
It was awesome. He came in like right probably 10 minutes before Dion went on, and just like chopped it up for 10 minutes and said hi to everyone and just was like talk about how much of a fan he was of Dion's stuff. So it was insane. It was like, again, I said it was surreal because it was, because I didn't think he was actually going to say my name on TV. Like, and when he did say it, I was talking to Quigs Friday night. I was filming it like behind the scenes, and I showed it to him, and I was like, they're not going to keep this in, are they? 'Cause he kind of stumbled over his words a little bit. And Quigs was the only person I showed it to, and he was like, nah, they're not putting that in. So
Well, I don't know how those things work.
Those are heavily edited.
Always on. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was always under the assumption they're like 20 minutes and they edit it down into 5.
yeah,
And I was like, the Dana Beers part's like funny for
us. But he
Barstool
doesn't
people,
know
but
who I am.
I was
or
like,
anything.
Dion kind of like stumbled over the name, and
Yeah.
people like the general public won't know. They'll probably cut it.
So
Yeah.
it was when he said it. Again, I had to wait probably like 7 hours till it actually aired, and then when it came on, I was like, "Holy shit, that's the coolest thing in the world."
How scripted are those? Like, does
So
he
they-
know
they-
all the questions that are going to be asked?
They give you like a rundown ahead of time, or like a kind of a sheet telling you like the main topics, but Dion doesn't. Like he kind of looked at it and just tossed it away because he doesn't really plan that much. He just goes out and talks.
Yeah.
But they're very like segmented and like planned.
Yeah, like they tee you up,
too.
right? Like if you're like, hey, if you have a good story about this, let us know
Yeah.
so Jimmy can ask.
For sure.
And
It's a whole different world, like, than Barstool, obviously, where it's very just, like, organized and just real.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. And then, yeah, obviously the clip came out, so
did he
I
seem to be
appreciated that.
aware of Barstool much or no?
He didn't say anything about it, but he said it on the show twice.
Yeah.
I don't think he really knows anything about it. But
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting.
yeah.
Well, that's cool. Congrats to you. And then when the doc airs, this is Thursday, it's airing Thursday, so the doc airs tonight, right?
Yes,
Part
this will
4?
be episode 4. This is the episode about homecoming week. Next week's are the money episodes. Those are like when we get into the nitty gritty of Dion's hospitalization, and we show you what it is like for real, and nobody knows what it is right now. So it's pretty breaking news, and it should get some national traction. And 5 and 6, I'd say, put them up for the awards, whatever awards we can put them up for.
Yeah.
But watch episode 4 tonight because it's still very good.
Go check it out. Anything else, boys?
I don't think so.
No, it was
You got a
fun.
quick grievance for us, Ed?
Yeah.
Honestly, I tallied off of yours. I actually didn't have one. I wanted to hear from you guys today. But
All right.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was good.
I love this show. I listen to this show. This is the 2 podcasts I listen to are Dave Portnoy and this. So that's Eddie. You're in my ears.
I'm a part of both of them. I'm happy to hear that.
Yep.
All right, boys. It's always great to chop it up. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thanks everybody for listening as well. That's it for today. We'll see you all tomorrow.